In July, a clogged gutter is a mild annoyance. A few leaves pile up and a little rainwater splashes over the side into the grass. But in a North Idaho winter, that exact same clog becomes a severe structural threat to your home. The physics are ruthless. When meltwater stops moving, it freezes and expands, with enough force to split solid building materials apart. That expansion pushes water backward, driving it up underneath your roof shingles. The sheer weight of the frozen buildup can tear metal gutters right off the side of the house. And if that water pools at the base of your home and freezes, it exerts enough pressure to crack concrete foundation walls. Surviving North Idaho's freeze-thaw cycles requires managing a single continuous roof drainage system, where the gutter is simply one link in a larger chain. This interconnected system fails the moment the flow stops. The house stays protected only as long as water moves away from the structure before it can freeze. The journey of a winter thaw begins at the peak of the roof. As snow melts, the water runs down into the roof valleys, the angled intersections where two roof slopes meet. These valleys act as giant funnels, concentrating massive amounts of runoff into a single, high-volume path. The first major threat this water encounters happens at the roof edge. This diagram shows an ice dam forming. Notice where the heat is coming from. Warm air escapes from the living space into the attic, melting the snow on the roof directly above it. That water trickles down until it hits the cold overhang of the roof, the eave, where it refreezes into a solid wall of ice. Now newly melted water behind the dam has nowhere to go. It is forced backward underneath the shingles, leaking straight into the home. If the water successfully navigates past the eave without freezing, it reaches the edge of the roof. This is a critical handoff point, where the runoff has to transition off the shingle safely. That handoff is managed by the drip edge. This diagram isolates a piece of metal flashing installed right under the bottom row of shingles. It catches the water and kicks it outward, directing it over the edge and away from the house. By pushing the water outward, the drip edge protects the vertical wooden board behind the gutter, known as the fascia. It also prevents moisture from curling back underneath into the soffits, the horizontal overhangs that contain the intake vents crucial for keeping the attic properly ventilated. Because this dynamic is driven by temperature, if a home suffers from repeated ice dams and leaks, cleaning the gutters will never solve the problem. The root cause is hidden in the attic's heat and airflow dynamics. Once the meltwater drops off the drip edge, it lands in the gutter. At this point, we move from complex roof thermodynamics into a pure drainage challenge. Here we encounter the second major winter threat: gutter ice. Unlike an ice dam, gutter ice forms when the physical flow of water is blocked. Trapped pine needles, leaves, or a lost downward slope will cause the water to pool up and freeze solid right inside the trough. The sheer mechanical stress of this ice is immense. The added weight bends and warps the metal gutter. Eventually, the hangers give way, and the entire gutter pulls away from the fascia board, severing the drainage path entirely. Many homeowners install gutter guards hoping for a permanent fix. While these screens keep out leaves, they cannot stop water from freezing. They do not prevent freeze-thaw overflow or stop sheets of sliding snow. And getting the water through the gutter is only half the battle. The downspout is the actual escape route. The final step of the journey happens at ground level. The water must exit through attached downspout extensions that push the runoff safely away from the home's foundation. A perfectly clean gutter is entirely useless if the downspout exit is blocked by snow, or if it dumps the meltwater straight into the soil right next to your basement wall. When we treat the house as an interconnected flow machine, fall maintenance becomes the single most critical task of the year. Before the first snow arrives, you must clear out leaves, sharp pine needles, and shed roof granules. Guaranteeing an open path now is the only way to ensure the water will keep moving when the hard freezes hit. During the winter, monitor your system closely during thaw cycles. Look for heavy overflow or large icicles. But if you see ice building up, do not aggressively chop at it with sharp tools. You are far more likely to puncture the roof materials than you are to solve the drainage issue. Pay attention to the warning signs that indicate a simple drainage block has escalated into a structural roof repair. If ice dams return year after year, if the exterior fascia boards feel soft to the touch, or if dark stains begin appearing on your interior ceilings, the system has failed. Preventing winter damage requires proactive management of the entire drainage path. If you live in Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Sandpoint, Hayden, Rathdrum, Athol, Spirit Lake, or the surrounding North Idaho communities, contact SkyRight Roofing and Gutters. Whether you need professional gutter service, drainage inspections, or comprehensive roof repairs, they can ensure your system keeps the water moving and keeps your home protected.